You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Hood Table one more again. It's your girl back for another video, y'all. We doing them back to back this week, y'all. At least we trying to. Okay? What up, Room Shaker? How you doing, love? Thank you for joining us this evening. Room Shaker been on a roll over there on her channel, too. She's always kicking them out back to back throughout the week. So shout out to you, Room Shaker. If you are not subscribed to her, please check out her channel. And also, Sislo, what's up, girlfriend? How you been?
Back with another banger. No.
We bite.
We bite.
What up, Creole? Look at Creole in the chat. What up, Libra Butterfly?
Up, down.
How you doing?
Well, how you doing?
How you doing?
Speaking of how you doing.
Okay.
I'm doing okay. I'm glad that Wendy doing okay and got out to see her dad.
Oh, that's wonderful. I know she's been wanting to do that. You know, I feel so bad for her. You know, this reminds me a lot of the Britney saga with her father. And then come to find out that her father was taking advantage of her and her money. And then with Wendy, she just said or confessed, because in the past, remember, she was always sticking up for her son. And then just recently, she did admit that he was like abusing her funds or something like that.
Yeah, she said, you know, he did overstep his boundaries. He did.
That's really sad. Yeah, it's sad that you can't trust. Can you imagine your children, y'all? Can you imagine your children who you took care of all their lives, made sure they had everything and more shit they probably didn't even need, that they just wanted? And then you get in a predicament where you are having issues with your health and they just take advantage of your weakness?
And see, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel like he was taking advantage of her weakness more than being a brat. You know what I'm saying?
Right. A brat. Yes, a brat.
He was just, you know, because like she said, everything I work for is for my baby. I've done it for my baby. So he probably felt like, you know, I'm doing so good. Mom wouldn't mind if I celebrated my birthday and I just upped the charge by 10 times. You know what I'm saying? But I think he was probably being more of a brat than anything. But I think it's the other people that, you know, taking advantage of her, and the fact that, you know, she was being isolated from everybody and being stuck up in that room. Because, I mean, look, the way that she was holding on to that window, like crying in that girl, that broke my heart. Like, who wants to suffer like that? You know, being her this diagnosis that they want her to have. She was like, look, and she talked with too much sense to me to have frontal dysplasia. She talked with too much sense. Like, people with that, they can't recall a lot of stuff from the past or the present. You know what I'm saying? And they, you know, they have a problem keeping on track and keeping the same conversation. She doesn't have that. And she even come now, come on now. No, my son just went overstepped his bounds and
Mm-hmm.
he knew what he was doing or what have you. But I can handle my money. I can handle my own money. I don't need
Mm-hmm.
help with that. I work for that money, which is the truth. Why would you be? And you can't have, like she told Harvey, she had like $11 or something like that. She said
Mm-hmm. Not
she
even
had
enough to order a Happy Meal.
something. Yeah, she was like, and
A
then
combo from McDonald's.
right,
Mm-mm.
it's funny. Anything she has to go through somebody, like she needed batteries for the remote or something, and she have to wait till somebody get them and then come back with the wrong ones. So it's like
Right.
that's crazy to be a media mogul, and you can't even come out. She was like, I haven't been outside, but a couple of times in the last year or so, and it's like it's crazy. And she
But
was
you know
like,
what I don't understand is why they keeping her so far from her family.
well, when somebody else wants to take full and total control, and I believe that was a Munchausen situation where they were making her say, making her to the
Mm,
she was, oh, this is what you have, so you're gonna forget. And then they put her in situations to make her think that this is what's wrong with her, but she's too smart for that. And then not only that, why would you have a phone where nobody can call into you, but and all you can do is call out? That's
mm-hmm.
to me, it's a overlay for the underplay. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you're trying to cover something. If you don't want any of her people to get in touch with her and her to be able to, luckily she knows how to reach out to people on her own. When she
Right.
calls and say, "This is Wendy Williams and I want to talk," and people know, "Oh wait, this is really Wendy. Let's see what she got to say." Listen,
Mm-hmm.
this is happening. And if it were not for Harvey, and being that Harvey is a lawyer, you know, I'm a lawyer. If it wasn't for Harvey being a lawyer, and Charlemagne having the platform that he has, then it could be that there will be no attention to what's going on with her. But fortunately enough, they were enough to make a big stink. And girl, her dad was enjoying every minute of it. He was,
Oh,
he was up dancing, girl, cutting the he could dance too. He
that is
can
so good to hear. You know
yes.
what? When I think about people who are isolated, sis, if they have like a medical condition, especially if they think it might be partly mental, when you isolating people like that and they can't, you know, reach out, to their family or spend time with their close loved ones, I think it makes it worse.
It
Whatever
absolutely.
health issues they have, I think it just makes it worse. You
Look
know what
at
I mean?
Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis' situation
Yeah.
is what they were claiming her situation is. Well, Bruce Willis is to the point to where he don't even know how to talk anymore. Like he don't know how to communicate. He barely recognizes people. So as a result of what he's going through, all of his family members came together and decided
Exactly.
to live in the same house together so
Hmm.
that everybody can enjoy his last days and
Hmm.
try to stay as familiar with him as possible. You know what
Well,
I'm
that's what
saying?
most families do. Look at Michael J. Fox. Remember when
Yeah.
he got the Parkinson's or whatever it was that he got? And his fam, it's like that's the norm, especially if you are really involved in your family. I don't care how prestigious or how broke you are. You know what I'm saying? But she's literally by herself in an
Mhm.
apartment all day, every day,
And
by
that's just
herself.
she can't even leave the floor to go to the workout room.
Right.
She can't even go work out. You know what I'm saying? She can't do any of that. And she's like, like she had to go get glasses and she need to do this, that, and the other. She was like, I haven't even been to my thyroid doctor. I haven't been to this. She has knowledge that she has not been. And she was like, I've never been diagnosed with dysphagia. I've never. Who told you that? Who said that? I've never been diagnosed with it, never. And so, with her having people like Harvey in her corner, and all of the other attorneys who's probably, you know, chasing the ambulance trying to get to her at this point to regulate her situation and get her out of that guardianship. You imagine the amount of money they will make being able to get her back,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in charge of her own money. And I've heard that Wells Fargo is that type of bank, that they will put a hold on your money in a minute.
Girl, I'm gonna make sure I never use Wells Fargo. I got 3 banks and ain't none of them Wells. Okay. I will never use Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has had a lot of situations in the past with people's money, but when they did this to Wendy Williams, I was like, oh, okay. I would never put a dime in there. Nope, not a. And what's up, friend? Hey, Colette, how you doing? What up, Melissa? What up, Mel? We just up here having a little hump day chit chat, y'all, talking about some trending news. That's all. So please make sure you like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Sislo as well. Her channel is Miss Sislo. Let me get her link. Let me get her old nasty piece of link. But yes. So we just talked about Wendy Williams right now. I did drop the link just in case anybody wants to come up after we finish talking about the topics that we want to discuss. If you guys want to chime in, then you can. I know. Let me just say this before we move on. And Sislo, please let me know if you want to add anything to the Wendy Williams before we move on. But for the people who don't know, she was, like Sislo said, she was diagnosed with the aphasia, which they say is a language disorder, and frontotemporal lobe dementia, which affects behavior, personality, and movement. And after she claimed for a long time that she's been held hostage, she was finally allowed to get out, and she went to Miami for her dad's birthday party. So she finally got to leave her assisted living facility over the weekend to attend her father's 94th birthday celebration in Miami. And they said she was spotted at Miami International Airport on Sunday on a motorized scooter, looking really happy. So I just want to say I'm happy that Wendy Williams, I'm happy she was able to get out and be around her family and her loved ones last weekend. So I wish the best for her. I really, really do. And I really hate, again, when people try to take advantage of people, especially, their money situation. You know what I'm saying? So I really wish the best for her.
Living when they don't call her, they ain't assisting her doing anything.
Right.
They're not even giving her. She's like, and then if I got all that, what medications? They don't give me nothing. They don't give me, I'm taking the same stuff I've been taking.
Yep. And I'm not trying to jinx you, Mel. She said she got Wells Fargo, but she haven't had any issues. She said probably just jinx myself. Girl, you better knock on wood, knock on every piece of wood in your house, girl.
She gonna be all right.
Go outside and kick the tree.
Mel's a numbers lady. She can count her money in her sleep. She all right.
Yeah, Mel will be all right. She makes money in her sleep. She'll be all right. But you know what, friend? She said, friend said, I remember Wells Fargo before the housing crash. You know what? That's why I am no longer in real estate. I was in real estate for 12 years, y'all. 12 years, y'all. And making some good money, and learned a lot about the real estate market, the title market, land and liens, and all kind of things. I learned a lot. But when that real estate market hit, what was that, 2008-ish? Like 2008-ish, and people was just walking away from their house. Do you remember the news? People were literally putting all their stuff outside, or should I say, the sheriffs was putting people's stuff outside on the lawns, and people were literally all across the United States just walking away from their properties. But a lot of people did have some nice little lawsuits because of all the scheming and that they was doing with the balloon and adjustable rate.
And they were taking that money for a group.
They were giving people loans that shouldn't get a loan. knowing they couldn't afford stuff and they had those balloons. That's why every time I talk to somebody about mortgages and stuff like that, because I used to be in real estate for years, I always say make sure you get a fixed rate. Because it's bad enough when you own a house or you own some property, and like right now, everything is up. Eggs here, 18 pack, almost $9. And now you know I'm a personal custom cake decorator, so when I have to tell my customers, the price is going up again because everything in the stove is up, like the cost of powdered sugar. When I first started baking 10 years ago and first started being a custom cake decorator, powdered sugar was $1.99.
What else?
$1.99 10 years ago, and now powdered sugar is $4 a bag in my neck of the woods. And if you're making a cake, even a 3-layer cake, you got to buy at least 4 bags just to make the cake. So that's almost at $20, just for powdered sugar. And people be like, why cakes cost so much these days? Child, everything is up, including taxes on property. And they say our taxes are so high here, they almost as high as people who live in New York. That's how high our taxes are here. So it's really expensive everywhere. But yeah, back in the day, they was doing all that like the balloon and adjustable rate mortgages, like Fran said. And some people were able to file lawsuits and get paid off of that stuff. But yeah, it was crazy. Yes. You said you was at West processing more. Girl, I remember, when did I work at West last? Oh, I think I worked at West last when I was how old was I? I was probably, I want to say 19 or 20. I got banned from West. I could never go there no more. Girl, that was one of those jobs where if you pointed out if you pointed out, I don't know if it's like that in other areas. We used to be the telemarketing capital of the world, right, Sislo? Back in the day, we used to be the telemarketing capital of the world. We had at least about probably, I don't know, 1,000 telemarketings just in our city alone, and if not more. And so there was this one telemarketing, and they would, like, you could point out if you get so many points, you get fired, but you could come back after like 90 days or 60 days or something like that. But if you point out 3 times, then you can never go back. So that's why I was banned, because I pointed out 3 times and I could never go back. But boy, we was making a killing up in that mud, boy. We was making some good money back in the day. That was back in the 90s. You talking about making 16, 18 bucks an hour in the 90s? Talking on the damn phone? Man, that was some money at West, boy. They still around, but they just ain't as big as they used to be, but they still around. But yep, so supply and demand, yep. Yeah, but anything you want to add to that, Cisco, or add to the Wendy before we move on?
No.
Okay. Hold on, we got somebody in the back.
Hey. Ooh, look at that sexy picture.
I don't know who that is. I think that's a troll, honey. I think that's a troll.
Did they say who was?
I don't know. Oh, you had West there too? Yes, West was very popular. They was very popular. They weren't just here in our city. They were, it wasn't nationwide, but they were scattered abroad. But yeah, we had about, I want to say maybe 3 or 4, maybe more than that, locations here, just in our city. And I worked at almost every one of them back in the day. Sure did. But go ahead, sis.
Oh, I ain't saying nothing. I was just talking about that. That was a troll, though.
Girl, you see the little outfit they had on?
Hugging that wall, honey, like I want to one day. You hear me?
I'm like, who was that?
Oh.
Hold on, type in the back chat. Let me know who you are in the back chat, because I don't recognize your name. So please type in the back chat.
Yeah, sometimes, our picture on our avatar be different than the picture on the
document. Yeah.
Minister Kiana Shamar. It's Shamar.
Oh, Shamar. Oh, that, you know what? I follow Shamar on IG, You know who I'm talking about? What? Right? The guy with the the weird.
Yeah,
Uh,
Wilson.
yeah. And
Yes,
I follow him. He is so fun. I'll be just laughing my. I
but
can
that's
watch
what
him
they
all
say.
day long.
They say, "Hey, good, it's your mom."
Yeah. Hey, girl. It's I don't know a Shamar, so I'm sorry. I don't know a Shamar. Sorry.
Dr. Minister Kiana, who's that?
Dr. Minister Kiana, PhD, and you go by Shamar. Yeah, I think that's a troll.
Tell them
So
to
anyway, in my Kimmy, pretty Kimmy voice, moving right along. Okay, sis Lo. So now,
Yes, yes,
uh,
yes. So
hold on
God,
one second.
Colette,
Colette said my cousin told me 18 eggs in Texas is 1684. What? 84? Oh,
16
1684. Okay, in Denver they're 12. Ours is I just posted it on Facebook. Did you see it on Facebook? Sis Lo, I posted the other day that eggs here was like it was like 8 something. It was almost $9. What up,
girl.
Happy Life? Little troublemaker. Boy, you be in trouble everywhere you go, Happy Life. Girl, Happy Life be in trouble. They everywhere he go, they be cussing him out something terrible. Mm-mm-mm. But anywho, Sislo, I know yes you wanted to talk about a few things. There's a lot going on in your state, girl.
Girl,
Every
first of
time
all,
I turn around, y'all in the news.
we're in the news, but let me start before we get into the juice, the juice.
Okay. Let me sip on this drink.
Yeah, before we get into that,
My yak.
we know it's been extremely cold here. Like it is like freezing in the below zeros.
Same
And
here.
yeah, and what's
It's
his name?
-4 right here. What's the temp now in your neck of the woods? Because it's -4 right now.
I would have to check it, but it was the last I checked. It was like 8. It was 8 degrees, but the wind chill factor was negative. Uh, I think -2 or something like that. But I have to check it again. So don't
Yeah.
quote. But Carlos Miller was here. This
Hold on one second. Let me just say this real quick, Sislo. Okay, I did drop the link down, y'all. But for some of y'all who didn't hear me, after me and Sislo finish our topics, we got like 2 more topics left to discuss, and then we'll invite people up if you want to discuss anything. But go ahead, sis.
okay. So yeah, Carlos Miller, the comedian, the be on the 85 South show. He was here. He said it's so cold. He said I'm in Detroit, and he said it's so cold outside. When you get out the car, you got to cuss like it's that cold. And
You know
then
what?
so what's what? One of the main water mains broke like maybe 10 minutes from where I live. So one of the main water mains broke, and the water is so deep that and it's so cold that the cars are literally frozen under the water. Like you can't even open the car door because from the mid or above where the handle is on a car all the way to the ground is frozen and it's solid with ice. And people have been filmed outside in their backyard ice skating in the backyard. And people who were sleeping in the basement woke up to a deluge of water coming in. So it's like a lot of people are that whole Southwest Detroit, which is mostly Hispanic community, um, is they're like underwater right now. It is just so crazy cold. And actually, my apartment was affected, which is why I'm doing, in the situation I'm in right now. But um, it's crazy. It's like a lot of people have been affected by the weather and in the freezing cold. So, and then my grandparents down in North Carolina, they're being hit by a snowstorm right now. So I just want to say, with the inclement weather for some areas, we're not we're accustomed to this. But for some areas, the weather is rather inclement. So just pray for those people that are going, you know, through the situation that they're going through. Fortunately enough, my
Mm-hmm.
my management was able to put me up in a hotel for a little while until they figure out my situation. But um, some people don't have that I'm not that fortunate. So just
Oh yeah, a lot of people are not that fortunate. I mean, people are losing their lives all over. Even
yes,
here, like tonight is supposed to be negative. Hold on, it's -4 right now. Okay, so it says, girl, it says tonight is gonna be -17 when it's all said and done.
yep. See, and so
So, and the kids ain't been to school. The kids here have not been to school in a week and a half.
yeah,
Now you know that's cold when the kids ain't been to school in a week and a half, and parents are like, me personally, I always been one of those parents who, if it's too cold and I think my child shouldn't be on the bus stop, oh, we calling in.
oh
He's
yeah,
sick. I ain't
here,
never been one of those parents. Oh, you need to go to school. I don't care if it's 50 below. But yeah,
because
tonight it's gonna be -17. Tomorrow the high is gonna be 8. The low is gonna be -12, and then it's gonna warm up Friday, girl. It's gonna get up to 17 Friday, and then up to 32 on Saturday, and then 43 on Sunday, 51 on Monday. So all next week is gonna be like in the 50s. But we just
we
got to get through this week.
don't know, which is gonna be terrible for me because um the roof on the whole apartment is like compromised. It's like it's leaking so bad, girl. It was leaking into the electricity. The water is into, so it's a fire hazard. So I had to leave. The ceiling started falling and light fixtures. It's just crazy. So I had to leave. But um the water, when it starts to melt, it's gonna make it even worse. So whether it snows a lot and that weight gets up there is a problem, or when the temperature drops and it starts to melt, that's gonna be a problem. But again, I was saying, I didn't say that to bring focus on my situation. I said that to bring focus on the fact that which we're gonna segue right into. We can segue right into one of our other topics. You got to think about the other people that are sleeping in their cars, that are with their children,
Oh
situations.
yeah.
They don't have enough warming centers, shelters, and situations like that for the people here. A lot of the times you got to be in those shelters by 7 o'clock. And then when you think about those shelters, when the lights go out, the creeps go creeping. So when you have your babies in those places like that, you have to really keep them closed. You got to keep, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep an eye on it because these
You gotta keep
creeps,
everything close, not just your kids, but your purse, your wallet, your, you
yeah,
know,
and they
yeah.
don't mind. They will do crap in the dark, and unfortunately, because it's just a big gymnasium or a big open area with a bunch of cots and stuff in it, you you know what I'm saying? It's just not um um I mean, it's unisex.
Oh,
They're
I know
not.
we got them here too. They be using anywhere. They use churches, YMCA's. We got a place called the Francis House,
Mhm.
downtown. But yeah, we got a lot of places here. It is unisex. It's not like no guys here, female here, kids here. Like you're
Right.
all together. And I know
So,
I had posted this picture up here because sometimes we try to make light of the situation of the weather, and but it's not really a light situation. But when you live in this type of environment all the time, year after year after year, you try to make light of the situation. So that's just a little poem that somebody had wrote for us people in the Midwest. But when it comes to these situations like Sislo was talking about, it can be very, very, very serious situations, deadly situations, and Sislo is going to roll right into that. Okay.
yeah, and it's like because some of the senior citizens and whatnot. And like there's an apartment building here for months. They have no elevator service. And we are talking about a multi-floor complex with like 18 floors or whatnot, right? So you have a lot of seniors that are above fifth and sixth floor, which is where pretty much most of the deliveries stop. So if they have been unable to get up and down the stairs to see a doctor, up and down the stairs to get their prescriptions, up and down the stairs where they are able to get out into the to get food or what have you, then they have been stuck in those floors for any amount of time. There were people who had lost their jobs because they live on the 18th and 19th floor, and they have to walk up and down those stairs. And she was like, no matter how early or late I get up, that's a lot of stairs to go up and down to get to my car, warm my car up, and try to hurry up and get, and then get off of work. And you getting off of work at 1, 2 in the morning, driving through this cold, and then have to climb 18 flights of stairs. So it's been detrimental. So just keep all of those people in your prayers. And that leads me to the young lady here whose children froze to death in the car because she was homeless and they were sleeping in the van at the casino and in the casino garage. And it just so happened that there was another homeless family that was in the car next to her that were also sleeping. And I guess they kind of, grew to know each other. And that's how she was able to get her babies to the hospital, the first one, because she didn't discover that the other one was gone until after she got, she got the other one, the first one to the hospital. She didn't have any idea that the baby was, you know, really sick. So I say that to say, a lot of people will judge and say, well, how can you do this and how can you do that? I know from experience, stuff happens. Stuff happens. Okay. I have been in a situation myself, nobody knew, and though a lot of people still don't know what I went through. And with that particular situation, it wasn't because I didn't have the money or anything like that, but it was because of the situation that I was in with credit, because my credit wasn't what it could be. Most of the people that were renting houses wanted 3 times the uh, rent for a down payment for like 3 times your rent. So they wanted 2 months security deposit and another month or a month and a half rent before you can move in. You had to make 3 times your rent per month. Who's making 3 times $1,300 a month on a regular job right now? Nobody. Or who's disabled and making it, bringing in that type of money? Nobody. So that leaves you in a situation. Then the other catch thing is every apartment place you apply for, you gotta have an application fee per adult. So if it's you and another adult, there's you gotta pay 2 times whatever the application fee. And at the time it was me and my adult daughter. And we were using each other's incomes to qualify us. Even though I might have been able to cover the rent because of the qualifications that they asked, we were doing that. So there are so many um reasons that things could have fallen through the crack. Then you could say, well, let me go to this place. And why you couldn't get help? Or why you could, well, all of those. Number one, there's a backlog on everything. Detroit is a big city and there are a lot of people in need. There's a great big backlog. Just because you and your kids' needs are dire does not mean that her and her kids are not in a bad situation. And then every time somebody is put out in house fire or some other situation or domestic violence situation or something like that, it just knocks the people in the waiting list further and further back. So, and then you have a situation, which was during my time, where there's COVID, when everybody stopped renting to anybody because they don't know what to do. The world shut down. They don't know who's going to continue to have an income. They don't know who are coming around. Nobody has written to anybody, and I mean it's just a whole mess. So some of that stuff is still other people are still recovering from that. Believe it or not, some people are still recovering from that. Some people cannot get, their bearings and their complexes together. Then when you have a young mother like that's taking a minimum wage job somewhere and she has 5 or 6 children and some of them are not school age children and they have to go into child care, then you're looking at a situation where now they got to pay for child care for these babies and they got to pay rent and they got to do this. So whatever job they take has to be worth it because the end got to justify the means, and it don't always happen when you don't have help from the significant other or the baby fathers or the family members and this and that. I know, there have been people where I would say, listen, I get paid on Tuesday. It's Friday. I get paid on Tuesday. Give me $20 till Tuesday to get me and my baby something to eat, and I'll pay you back with interest. I got to write a resume. What I need that $20 for? This, that, and the other. Oh, did you ask this person? Why you ain't ask your kid? Or why you ain't ask this one? Why you ain't ask this, that? So it makes you to the point to where, look, I suffer it all. I ain't asking nobody for nothing. Or everybody, everywhere you go, you get that. So it's easy to understand. From me looking at her perspective, it's easy for me to understand how that type of situation can happen. Now, with the father in her situation, he simply said, "You asked me, could I get him? You didn't say why. You didn't say this was going on. You didn't say that. I don't care what I say. If I call you and say, could you get your kids for a little while? I don't care if I'm having a bad day. Get your kid. Can you help me? Do I have to have a reason? This is what I'm saying. It's like all that. So now we come to today. I think today was the public. Today or yesterday was the public viewing for the babies. The funeral home covered the cost. One of her family members, and this is inside. You ain't gonna find this in the news. This is information I found from somebody that knows somebody kind of thing.
Oh shoot, we got intel. You heard it here first.
Exactly. So one of her cousins started a GoFundMe and has been collecting money for the baby. She got into it with the cousin because the cousins got the money in GoFundMe, but it's in her name, not in the kid's mama name, not in the kids' names, not in the kids that's living's name, but in the cousin's name. And so she was trying to do scurvy stuff with that money. And the girl said, no, I don't want no parts of that. Because you're wrong. And you're doing wrong stuff with people with money that people are donating. I don't want it and I don't want no parts of it because this particular cousin that did it has been jailed for fraud before and have some pending stuff going on. And this is not this came with receipts to the person that spoke of it. So you got another cousin that 9 times out of 10 she probably reached out to before, or some other cousins like that. And now this one collected money in her sleeping baby's name and doing what she want to do with it. And then she like, I ain't getting involved in it. You shouldn't have never started it. GoFundMe in my children's name. I'm not getting involved with it. Don't want no parts of it. But when your tail get locked up for fraud again, don't put me in it. And that's the situation it is now. But just imagine going through what you're going through, asking for help from all of these people, and now you got somebody that's using your kid's name your kids' good name. God bless those angels to collect, and you can't get anything out of it or anything else for the kids that's living. So it's like she's still being taken through the ringer. She's still being taken advantage of, or used, or not even supported. That has to be like the nail in the proverbial coffin. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, Steve. You tell me what you think about.
Well, I can't imagine. I honestly can't imagine. See, the thing is, I have, and I said this story before. You know this story. I have been homeless before, but when I was homeless, I didn't have children. It was some issues that I had at home, growing up. Once I got to my um almost the last of my teenage years, I left home like maybe 8 months before I was supposed to graduate from high school.
Mm.
And I left home and I was
Okay.
sleeping here. I was here, friend's house, guy house. Sometimes I was sneaking in people's houses, sleeping on people's porches. It was like a group of us, kids out there who was just, but we went to school every day. We went to school every day. And I kept my little rinky dink McDonald job. You know what I'm saying? So my little 425 or whatever the hell we was making back then, I still went to work. And then at night I would try to find somewhere to go to sleep. But I can't imagine being out there with children. I cannot imagine being out there with children. And when I even talk to my kids today, and I'm gonna put you on mute, sis, because you got a little bit of feedback. But when I talk to my son who has a baby, my only grandson, Ace, when I talk to him, sometimes when he say things like, "Mom is hard. I just feel like this and I feel like that." Not like he's giving up or anything like that, but just, telling me, what he's going through. I'm like, you have to keep in mind, son, it's hard for every parent. It ain't no rule book. Sometimes you got to make up things as you go. You're going to make mistakes. But what you don't do is quit. You don't stop. You don't quit. When you feel like things are just so hard or whatever, look at that baby. Look into his eyes. And that'll give you the push. Because that's what y'all did for me. Y'all gave me the push. Sometimes I worked 2, 3 jobs just to make sure y'all had everything y'all need, including all y'all extracurricular activities, y'all football shoes, y'all cleats for track, y'all wrestling uniforms. I mean, basketball. I mean, everything. I worked my butt off. You can't quit because it's hard out here. It's hard enough out here for people who are single parents. And then with the economy. And then with the housing situation. You know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with being a parent, trying to provide, the housing market, do you know how? Well, Cislo, you probably do. I'm sure you probably do. A lot of people out here can't even afford a 1-bedroom apartment because
Exactly.
of the housing market. And it's really hard out here. Like we was talking earlier about my taxes. I don't know how many times I told people, I said, I like my house. I really love my house. But some days I look at this motherfucker and I'll be like, shit, I can walk away from this. If they raise my taxes up one more time, I mean, I swear to God, the amount that I agreed to on my mortgage when I first bought this house, what I pay now is ridiculous. What I pay now is ridiculous. And I'm like, my house ain't even worth all this. Why am I paying all this money? And then, Cislo, yesterday, what was it, 2 days ago? Or was it yesterday? No, it was yesterday. Yesterday, I spent all damn day on the phone. Why? Because I got my new, you know how you get your new insurance every year? And so I got my new insurance for my homeowners and my cars are bundled in there. And it went from $460 a month for my homeowner's insurance which is already high as hell, and my cars, we got 2 cars. It went from 462 to 686 a month.
It's time to reshop.
That's like how much more extra? I was on the phone like, what you talking about? I ain't trying to pay no $200. They had already raised the taxes on the goddamn house. Now y'all done raised my damn car insurance, my damn homeowner's insurance. I was so livid. I was on the phone all day yesterday trying to get quotes. I mean, I even made a post on Facebook. You probably saw my post, sis, since we Facebook friends. I made a post on Facebook. I said, so somebody please recommend insurance company to me because I'm looking for quotes. And people started listing people, and I was calling them. Every person they listed, I was calling them. I finally got the cheapest quote I could find was $502 a month for my house and our cars. And to a lot of people, that's a lot of money. To me, that's a lot of money. But that was the cheapest I could find. And I was like, 502, yeah, it's about a $50 increase, but it's better than paying the 686. I mean, I was like, girl, when I tell you, so I understand. I understand what people are going through every single stinking day. Like sometimes I want to just walk away. And what up, 402 Revenue? That's my homeboy. He lived right here. Matter of fact, he bought me one of my most precious housewarming gifts when I bought my house. Thank you, 402. That gift is still sitting outside. It's an African welcome sign with the green and the red and the black and all that stuff. It is still outside. I still have that. So yeah, shout out to 402. And what up, 7? How you doing, 7? How you doing, babe? But yeah, sometimes, sister, I just want to walk. I swear to God. I told my homegirl today, I said, I'm about to move into projects. And I said, damn, we ain't got no more projects. They done tore them all down. But of course I was joking. We was laughing, playing around. She was talking about her shit. I was talking about my shit. I said, I'm just gonna move into the projects, girl. I'm about to go back to the hood where I grew up. I'm like, damn, they done tore all them motherfuckers down. But it's hard out here. So I cannot imagine being homeless with children. I did it before as a young adult by myself, but with children, I can't imagine. And that story that you're talking about, when I heard about that story, sis, those kids in that van,
heartbreaking.
It's so heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking. I know the mother, and the thing about it is the mother. Have you heard about? I know you got a little intel on the story of the family, but as far as like charges and things like that, I know the other children went to CPS, but as far as her, do you know? Have you heard anything?
She she's. I think it's trying to help her out because it wasn't her fault that stuff happened. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that she's that they're trying to help her out. Now the situation with
Oh, hold on. Let's back up, babe. Let's back up. So when you say it wasn't her fault, what do you mean?
As far as the kids freezing in the cold, being homeless. Is that what you're talking about? That's the case you're talking about.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. So, because of the fact they were sleeping in a van. Now, trust me.
Yeah,
trust me. When I say this, I wouldn't wish this on anybody as far as jail, prosecution, anything like that. Because of the children passed away, she had them in a van. It's freezing outside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of parents in certain situations where they have children in sticky situations, they do get charged for neglect.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
So that's what I'm saying. Do you think they are going to?
No.
Or have they mentioned anything of charges or anything like that?
No, because of
Okay.
the fact that he had been reaching out to get help and the system failed her. She's been out for a long amount of time to get help. She did everything that she was supposed to.
So she was like reaching out for housing and things like that?
houses. She reached out to different shelters. She reached out to social services. She reached out to family
Wow.
members. She even called out of state. She called every lead that was given to her. She followed everything in the book. And see, you gotta understand, it's not illegal to be home.
I know it's not illegal to be homeless, but
Yeah, and
man,
she was
if I knew somebody right now and they was family or friends and they
and
kids was like right now it's gonna be -17 in our city tonight. It's already -5. If I knew I had family or friends and they were outside with their children,
she
excuse
called.
me, with their children, I'd be
Told
like,
her
come,
no.
I'd be like, bring the kids.
They told her no. She was like, if you could just take the kids and
Nope.
I'll stay in the car. They told her no. She asked for money to help her with gas. So because that's how she ran out of gas, running the
I be
van.
like, if y'all don't bring them kids over to this house, I ain't got that many bedrooms,
No,
but y'all can make some pallets on the floor. I got a whole finished basement with a fireplace down there. Y'all can stay down there. Like I couldn't imagine my family members having their kids out in this type of temperatures. No. Mm-mm.
her mom was in the van with her too. So they were all home. And it was
That's what
like,
I heard. That's what I
and
heard. The mother.
yes, and she was starting a new job the next day after her kids passed. She had just got a new job as a CNA. So check
So
it out.
answer me this.
Somebody for gas money to help put some
So the
gas in.
mother was homeless too? Like,
Yes,
what was
it's
her story?
listen. It's not. She probably was taking care
Or
of her
was she
mom.
living with them or taking
Yeah,
care of
she
the
probably
kids?
was
Or
taking care of her mom. My mama was probably sickly, and she was probably taking.
oh, wow.
And I think what happened to her, I think she a fire, or she got lost her house in a fire or something. It was something like that.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, she even asked for gas money. Can you at least just give me
That
some
is so
gas?
heartbreaking.
Put some gas in there so I can keep us warm. So she ran out of gas trying to run the warm van, keep the van warm. Yeah,
Girl.
trying to run out of gas. And you have people that's on. I watch the channels all the time on YouTube. People that live in their cars and live in their vans on purpose,
I
and
know
they
they be traveling all over the world and they making money off of YouTube doing it. And you know what, Sislo? I don't believe that they all be in their vans all the time. I do not believe that.
do, but they do. But they learned the secrets to doing it. One, they learned they have stealth vans and vehicles that you can't tell that they're in it. They have different mechanisms that run for and additional batteries put in them so that the batteries can run the heat.
Oh,
They
they have
can
all
cook.
kind of generator there. They have all kind of stuff.
And
They're
I
not
love
just out there in the woods freezing or
they,
burning fire in the woods. No, they got everything they need in
they
they van or they yeah.
and they go. They know which places to park. They know
Exactly.
which gyms to take a
So they're
shower.
not just in some Timbuktu area.
Right.
They make sure they go where they have resources.
They know how to do it. This is what they do,
Exactly.
which is
So it's
good to
really
watch.
not living off the grid to me. A lot of these people who do it for the YouTube, do it for the TikTok, they're not like
Yes,
really living off the grid to me.
they tell
They're
you how
just
to
doing
do
it
it.
for clicks and views.
They take showers. Some of them have showers and stuff built in the vans,
I was
bathrooms,
just about to say that.
toilets. They have stoves. I follow a lot of them. They have those vans and they convert them into a small mobile living space. Now the
Yeah,
ones
I
that
see some girl. She had a shower head and a shower thing on the outside of her van or whatever. I was like, now how the hell she said somebody rigged it up for her, and I was like, oh, but y'all living off the grid,
and they make a lot of
child.
money. They make a lot of money from living that way. But I watch stuff like that. I've always wanted to do that though. So I've
But see
watched.
that I still don't think they do that all the time though. That's what I'm saying. I
They
think
do.
they probably make so many videos and they really in some damn cozy house the
Some
rest
of
of
them,
the time. That's what I think.
some of them gave their houses up. Some of them did it because they didn't have a choice. But some of them did the opposite. They gave it
I
up
think
to
some
the
of them used to. I think back in the day when that stuff started happening with the social media and stuff, but I think a lot of people jumped on the idea because they see other people getting millions and millions of views on that shit. I don't believe everybody out there who say they living in a van or
oh
they
no,
living in a bus is really in living in a van. No, I think they go home at night. You know how them people be out there bumming and scumming and begging. And then like that TV show, what was that movie? Menace or whatever that movie was. Don't Be a Menace. One of those movies where the dude walked around the corner and took off his bummy dirty clothes and he had on fur and all the jewelry and jumped in his Lincoln or whatever. I don't believe they all really live out there like that. No.
well, you have some of them that have been busted because they weren't really doing it. Yeah,
Exactly.
some of them that weren't really homeless and they beat the system. But you have some people who do it as a hobby. You know, they like roughing it. They like camping. They like traveling. So they get them an RV or a van converted and they go all over the world just to,
Oh,
and
the
meet.
roughing it ones, I believe those. The roughing it ones where they actually out there hunting, they're catching fish, they're doing fire. I'm talking about the people who just rolling around in a van and they just, oh, I'm living in my van. But you don't see them out there hunting. You don't see them out there catching no animals. You don't see them out there skinning no fish. You don't see them out there doing shit. But oh, I'm living in my van. No, I don't believe them people is really living. I just think they doing that for clicks and views.
Yep,
And they
yeah.
record several videos, and then after that, they go back home to their quarters where they are nice, warm, and safe. Till they need to make some more videos out there on the road. But
But
anyway,
with
that's neither here
the
nor
young
there.
lady, I wish her better. I wish, that things would really turn out a lot better for her. You know,
Yeah, I
she,
hope somebody see the story, Cislo. You know how some people see a story and they really have the resources, and they be like, "Hey, I have this home," or "Hey, we have this job available. What can you do? We'll find something for you to do." Now, I'm
and it's
not saying
not
people should just do that for everybody.
right.
You can't do that for everybody, right? But there's just certain situations where they just tug at your heart and you just want to help. So I'm hoping that there's some real serious resources will reach out to this mother.
Right. Mm.
Hmm.
Praying for all of them. All of them. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now there's another story that happened in your city.
Yes, and this one is the young lady with 4 kids, and um, three of them she left home
Yeah.
alone. She left home alone for 4 years.
Yeah, we hit on that a little bit the other day, but I wanted to discuss it again with you because I know, this is like your area, your neck of the woods. So I definitely wanted you to chime in on this.
4 years. This has been out partying.
Was it four? Because the articles I saw said three, but 3 or 4, even one, even 6 months.
It's
That's
been
that's just too long.
2020 since 2020, and they
Mhm.
said it was so bad that the babies didn't even have basic grooming skills.
Nope.
They didn't even know how to bathe themselves, you know. And she had another child, a fourth child, but that child she ended up losing custody of that one to the father.
Hmm.
So with that being said, she that child got spared this situation, but the other ones, um, they said the son. This is the part that really tore in my heart. He said that he only been outside twice in the last 4 years.
Yeah, and the
Once,
girls ain't been outside at all. They said they haven't stepped foot out at all.
once in all the last 4 years, and one of them times was to get the mail, and the other was just to touch the grass
But
to
why do
see
you
what
think they didn't get out? Like, I
they
have
were.
even. I know you got kids, girl. I know I didn't caught my kids before when I be like, y'all better not go out that house. I'm going to work. Like if they was on punishment or something, I better not catch y'all better not I better not hear about y'all out the house. And then I hear about them out the house. So what do you
Can you
what do you think
imagine
made
the
them not
fear?
step foot out the house for years?
Can you imagine the fear that she had over them? For them,
It's crazy.
but there are some kids, but these kids had to be autistic or
Something had to be wrong, sis
some-
Lo.
something. It had to be something in order for them to like not have what they needed
Mhm.
mentally.
No tissue. They had no tissue, sis Lo.
No,
They
no,
had
no.
piles of feces all over the home. Piles of feces.
Listen, the police said that they couldn't hardly walk
Yep.
because their toenails were so long. Do you
But you know what that
understand?
means, sis Lo? That means that when she had them, she
She wasn't
wasn't
doing.
grooming them because a child who is 15 or 13, even if she left them 3 years ago, they would have been 9, 10, 8. They still would know, like a normal kid would know, okay, my nails too long. Mama, where the fingernail clippers? You know what I'm saying? So that means that she wasn't really caring for them even when she was there. That's what that means.
Yeah.
And I do believe that something probably was wrong with them kids, and she was just like, "Fuck this shit. I ain't got time for these motherfuckers." Because one time I got so upset with my kids, and I told this story too here before, but I got so upset with my kids because I always make sure they have everything they need, right? Especially when they got old enough to stay at home while I was at work. But one day they ran out of milk, and they hit me up. They said, "Mama, we out of milk." I said, "Don't worry about it. I'll pick some up on the way home. No big deal. I got the money. And we wasn't like we was broke and I had to go borrow to get some milk or nothing like that. But these boys could not wait for me to get home. So you know what they did? They went next door. They
And
went next door. And I stayed in a house. So it wasn't an apartment. They actually had to cross the lawn and go next door. They knocked on this lady's door and said, "Ma'am, we're out of milk and our mom is at work. Do you have some milk for our cereal?" Do you know I was livid when I found out? I was so livid when I found out. I mean, I want to bust that girl. I, girl, that was a bad day for the kids. I'm telling you, I didn't spank them or nothing like that. But my mouth can be very vicious when I'm
I
upset.
feel
Even with kids, I don't give a goddamn. 2 to 82.
you up.
Girl, I was so mad. I was so mad. I'm coming home with milk and other kind of groceries, snacks and shit. I'm like, here y'all milk. I look in the sink and it's cereal bowls with milk droplets in the bowls. I'm like, I thought y'all said y'all was out of milk. Oh, we just went next door. And at first of all, y'all wasn't supposed to leave the house. And then y'all asked the neighbor for milk. Like we broke and busted, like we ain't got no money. And they was like, Mom, they didn't. I don't think they really thought that. That's not the point. I was so upset, so slow. And then it wasn't even, I mean, the neighbors was cool. Matter of fact, the boys who lived next door, they were really cool with my boys. I talked about one of them, Fats. I had talked about one of them like a year or so ago. He had passed away. And I had talked about him and posted his picture and stuff. But one of the boys was named Fats. That was his nickname. So yeah, they played sports together, everything. But it don't matter. Like that's something my parents didn't have us do. We ain't walking next door at somebody for some milk or some butter or cheese like they do in the projects, like they used to do me when I used to live in the projects. And all these bitches that sit there all day collecting welfare and food stamps. After they spend all their shit, then they come and knock on my door. Oh, Tiny, do you got some can I borrow a cup of laundry soap? I don't play that shit. So yeah, I was very upset. But these kids, what I'm trying to get to, Sislo, They didn't even go outside and knock on somebody's door and say, we've been living here all this time. We don't have tissue. We don't have toothpaste. She didn't leave them with, all she did was drop off food, drop it off, or have a neighbor drop off food once a week. No sanitary shit, no hygiene shit, no tissue, no nothing like that. And these kids did not at one time in 3-4 years go to a neighbor and say, can we borrow a roll of tissue? Can we borrow some soap?
They don't. How do you ask something you're not familiar with? They're not familiar with you.
Right.
How do you answer something you're not familiar with? You see what I'm saying?
And that's exactly why I brought up the story about my kids and the milk. Because I didn't leave them for a day. I was at work. And they can't go till I get off of work with no milk. Like, I can't imagine. My kids probably would have been like, oh, where the hell she at? It's 2-3 days. Oh no, they would have called my mama. They would have, that girl, because the thing about it is on the refrigerator, when I first started leaving them alone, when they got old enough to stay at the house, I had at least 30 phone numbers on the fridge. You already know I was a protective parent. So I had like 30 phone numbers. I mean, uncles, cousins, even people out of town. I mean, they had every number on the fridge. So there was no way that they would have just sat in the house day after day. And they got all these emergency numbers. So I really do think that something might have been wrong with the kids. Yeah. Which is even more sad.
There had to be something wrong with them because they didn't, they didn't know for themselves to ask, hey, can we get this or do this or that? Yeah. It's crazy.
It's so sad, Sislo. If you hear anything else about that, I know that's in your neck of the woods. So if you hear anything about that, just hit me up if you want to discuss it on your channel or over here, or it don't matter. But yeah, because I really want to follow that story. Okay. And I hope that on the other end, that story and the other story, I hope these kids, you know what I hope for these kids, Sislo? How people just have that they have that sun will come out tomorrow story. It's a hard enough life. And then they grow up and they might be a billionaire. They might be famous. They might be, even if they're just a random old teacher or a coach or own a grocery store, running a McDonald's. I don't give a damn. I just hope that they become successful in their life and that they are healthy. And they are surrounded by people who love them. And the same for this family with the mother, whose children passed away in the cold in the van. I hope that her life gets a lot better. And the other children, because that's the first thing I thought about, Sislo. Before I even thought about the mother and the grandmother, I thought about the siblings. Yeah. The siblings who were sleeping in that van, freezing with their other siblings, and to wake up and find out that 2 of them passed away and they are left.
Yeah. And they said that, like, some of them were asking, where are they? Where my sister? And blah, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
So sad.
That's the first thing I thought about. Like, seriously. Mm-hmm. If I was to wake up in the middle of the night and find out my little brothers was passed away, boy. It ain't nothing like siblings. It's nothing like siblings. So I really felt bad for the kids. Really did. But yeah. Happy Life, you back. I see you, Happy Life. What up, Vibrant Low? How you doing, Vibrant Low? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I hope everybody has liked the video and share the video if you can. Melissa said, it's funny that this is your topic. My dad and I have a similar conversation earlier today. Oh Lord, is she still in here? Which topic was she?
Probably the money and stuff we talking about earlier.
Probably with the money.
Something about
probably with Wendy Williams or something like that. I don't remember, child. We done talked about different things, so if she's still in here, she could chime in on what particular part of our commentary she was referring to. But yeah, that was a lot. But anything else you got for us, sis Slow, tonight?
No, babe, that's about it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
just keep me lifted in your prayers. Even though what
I
I'm
definitely
going
will.
through is not near, anyways, near what you're going through. It's still a situation, and I thank God that I'm here, though.
Yeah. When it comes to living in apartments, things like that, and you gotta wait for things to be repaired. My son,
Yes.
where they live, the oldest one, and his excuse me, in his son's bedroom, my grandbaby, the ceiling has started leaking in the apartment. And my son sent me pictures, and they never been through anything like that. You know, they young adults. They like we've been telling the landlord, but ain't nothing. What you ain't okay? Do you want me? See. When my kids was younger, they knew once mama get involved, whatever the situation, shit was gonna hit the fan, right? But shit was also gonna get done. The outcome was going to be to our advantage. But once they got older and grown, I would tell them, do you really want me to get involved? It don't matter if it was something that happened at the auto shop, something that happened at their job, something that happened at. Do you really want me to get involved and give you advice or tell you what to do or whatever? Because you already know. And so I told him, this is who you need to call. This is who you need to call. Fuck that shit. That's my baby's room and whoop whoop whoop. I'm like, please don't have me get involved. Please don't have me call down. Please don't, son. And he's like, okay, mom, we're gonna try to take care of this ourselves and whoop whoop whoop. I'm like, all right, but call me if you need to. Because one thing I don't like, I tell my children all the time, do not ever, I don't care if it's your boss, your employer, your landlord, your significant other, do not ever let anybody take advantage of you. Don't do it. Get used to it now while you're young. Because a lot of us old heads, we went through shit and we didn't learn till like maybe after a certain event or a certain situation. Oh no, this ain't gonna happen again. So I teach my kids from the time they were little, do not let anybody take advantage of you. I don't care what the situation is. If you think they are wrong, you stay on their asses. So yeah, I'm glad that your situation is being taken care of. And like you said, at least you got somewhere to go. In the meantime, they put you up in a hotel and shit like that. But a lot of apartment they don't do that, sis.
Right.
They just be having you up in a fucked up situation, and then you got to go to the city and go to the mayor and go to this and the housing. Yeah, it's yeah.
Amen. Well, I'm grateful for everything, and yeah, just keep me lifted in your prayer.
I will, and I'm gonna pray that y'all stay warm too. I swear to God, sis, I've been sneezing and caught everything for like a week and a half. It is just extremely cold here. It's so cold. I just and then I keep turning the heat up, and then I get too hot. Then I gotta turn the heat down. It's like,
It was just me.
girl, I'll be like, oh, it's cold. Then I turn the heat up. Oh, it's too hot. Then I gotta get up in the middle of the night, turn the heat down. Then I wake up, it's too cold. The furnace is just like working overtime in the Midwest right now. It's just really cold, really
Right.
cold.
I thought it was just me.
Yeah, and then I ordered some more bags of rock salt today. I got 2 bags. I got like 50 pounds of rock salt sitting on my porch because it's like, you know how the snow is. Once the snow starts melting, because it's about to be after we finish this last week of cold and it starts getting into the 50s, you know what happens? All that snow melts and then you get ice. It turns into water. Then at night, it gets ice. So I got a lot of rock salt on the porch ready for that. But what up, Noble? How you doing? You said, what up, though, the hood table? Diva a case? Al, you better tell them. You better act like you know. No. But all right, sis.
All right,
Our
all right.
commentary for our trending news is done. I'm gonna drop the link, or I think the link is already dropped, just in case anybody wants to jump up here before I get out of here and speak about anything. But I know Happy Life had tried to hit the link earlier, and I told him to come back after we discuss our topics. So I don't know if he's still here and want to hit the link, but I'm gonna give him a few minutes. So if you want to exit, or I can holler at you later, boo.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Love you on purpose.
I love you on
And
purpose too. And you know what? I never did find your. Hold up. Let me go there right now. Hold
you
on.
said what?
I think we had got caught up in talking when I was looking for your channel, and then we just got to talk because I meant to drop your channel. So let me do it now.
And don't forget to keep it good. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You better say, girl. You better
Support
say, girl. Shit.
cash out the hood table 402. Hit my girl up.
Yes, and I just dropped those links, so make sure y'all support her link because we're gonna be getting her to go live a little bit more often, so we can hang out and kick it over there too. So make sure y'all hit her link; it's in the chat. We're trying to get her monetized, so please show her some love. Watch some of her videos, get her some clicks and views, please, and thank you so much.
Love you.
Love you too. I'll talk to you later, boo.
All right.
Hey, everybody who's still here. I know it's only a few of us, but one more again, I just want to shout out to ASAP Rocky on his win. He was acquitted for several counts of assault. So I just want to play this little video today. I know a lot of you guys already seen the video, so it's not like y'all haven't already seen it before. But I just want to make sure I put up my little banner, because I am just want to put up a little disclaimer, since we are playing, this is like a news thingy, all over the news. So it's not like I'm taking this from somebody's YouTube channel or anything like that, but I still like to put up my disclaimer sometime because this is for purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, education, did I say education, education, and research, fair use. Okay. Let me hit mute. I just love this scene. I really love this scene. But let me hit mute.
Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California versus Joaquin Mayers. Case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of Repeat again. We, the jury, the above entitled actions, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of semi-automatic firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, Section B, a felony.
I just love that scene, and it just tickles me so much when he's heard the not guilty, and he immediately hugged one of the lawyers. It looks like one of his representatives for like 2 seconds, maybe half a second. He hugged him, and then he quickly just ran back there with his family, his friends, Rihanna, his children, and he just shows so much love. You can see Riri's face there; her eyes is closed. I know everybody's ecstatic. He has been proven not guilty, charges acquitted. I really, for one, I'm not even going to hold you and pretend like I even been following this case like a lot of people have, because I have not. But when it comes to court cases and trials and convictions and things like that, he was facing 24 years. They even at the last minute, the prosecutors tried to get him to take a plea for 6 months. Him and his lawyers was like, ha ha, not. And some people's like, well, maybe the prosecutor is a little worried that they might not get him, found guilty. But I'm so glad that he did not take the plea deal. Even though it's for 6 months. 6 months, in the, looking at people who serve in years, life, 25 to life, 1, 2, 3 consecutive life sentences. 6 months is probably a cakewalk. Probably a cakewalk, depending on where you at, where you're serving your time. But then again, 6 months, a lot of things negative and horrible can also happen in 6 months. So I'm glad he didn't take the plea deal. From what I heard from like some of the testimonies, some of the witness statements, it sounds like he really didn't shoot the guy in the hand, the friend. They said it was a prop gun. They even had him on camera, on video with the gun, but they didn't show him actually shooting the gun. So I hope that he even told the jury, he said, thank you for finding me not guilty. He said, you made the right decision. That's what ASAP Rocky told the jurors. He told them, you guys made the right decision. In this case, I really think they did make the right decision. And on that note, shout out again to ASAP Rocky and old Riri and all his family and friends and loved ones and children. Congratulations. Congratulations, for real, for real. But you guys, yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. It's about 8:25 where I am. I just might just tune into a little YouTube. I haven't been watching a lot of YouTube, as you guys know, because as you know, a lot of the stuff that's been going on YouTube, I'm like, I don't I don't know. The B sector, child, I don't even want to get into it and all the storylines and all the plays and all the fakeness and all the phoniness and all the hypocriticalisms. Did I just make up a new word? Hypocriticalisms. It's a lism. It's a new lism. I don't know if it's a real word or not, but if not, okay, I'm using it anyway. But anyway, so I haven't really been watching a lot of the B sector, or not too many sectors, period. To be honest, I've been watching like TV. I've been working, slanging cakes, decorating cakes for people, things like that. Spending time with my grandson, things like that. So that's what I've been up to, you guys. And trying to stay warm. Again, trying to stay warm. Tonight is going to be negative 17. I'm looking at the weather right now. Right now it is, let's see what it is right now. Okay, right now it's -5. What time is it? 8:27 my time. Okay, so nope, it says -6. So at 8 o'clock it was -6. They said it feels like -18 right now. Child. At 9 o'clock they said it's going to be -8 and feel like -20. At 10 o'clock, they said it's going to be -10 and feel like -22. At 11 o'clock, they said it's going to be 11 degrees below and feel like -23. So it's just going to get worse and worse. It's going to get worse and worse. By 4 a.m., it's going to be -17 degrees and feeling like -29 degrees here in our neck of the woods. At 4 a.m., it's going to feel like -30 degrees below. At 8 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be -13, feeling like -24. It's not going to get up to above 0 until 12 noon tomorrow. So at 12 noon tomorrow, it's going to be 2 degrees, but it's still going to feel like -7. So for all the people who is out there, including my neck of the woods, if y'all dealing with the harsh cold, please look out for each other. I hope and pray you stay warm. I hope and pray you have no issues with electricity, with your furnace. Check on your family. Check on your elderly. As far as pets, if you have pets, take them, don't send them pets outside and just be like, go on out there, put them on a leash, walk them outside, let them do their thing. If they don't do their thing within a certain amount of time, bring their bus back in the house. Order you some doggy pads, get you some doggy pads or something like that, because it's too cold for the dogs, it's too cold for us, it's too cold for your animals right now if you're dealing with severe cold weather like we are, okay? So please, make sure you guys, if you haven't already, like and share the video. Subscribe to the Hood Table if you happen to be new here, please, and thank you very much. But other than that, I know I sound a little congested, y'all. I'm trying to do my best to get through this video without sneezing or anything like that. But it's just cold here. It's just cold here, and I got a little cold. I got a little sniffles, which comes along with the cold. Matter of fact, I had told y'all, I had made a post on Facebook and I made a post on YouTube. I said I am not going outside all week, but I had to. I had to get to the bank today. I have to make several runs, to get to the bank today. I have to handle some business, so I had to get out today. And I swear to God, as soon as I got back home, I started sneezing and coughing. That's how cold it is outside. So just bear with me if y'all hear me like nasally or whatnot. But anyway, to everybody who tuned in today, I really appreciate you guys. I'm gonna try to come back tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to be discussing because I just been going with the flow. I haven't been again doing any really B sector content, commentary, or anything like that. I'm just trying to go with the flow. Keep bringing you different type of commentary. I heard somebody say, now y'all know people who really know the Hood Table, people that have been following me for 5, 6, 7 years. Y'all know that we just don't discuss sector shit. We discuss TV shows, trending news, world news, celebrities, my hood news right here in my local neck of the woods. We discuss everything from the hood to the White House. So it's nothing for me to come on here and discuss some things with you guys that don't have nothing to do with B sector. It might be a smaller crowd because we're not discussing the B sector or any other drama that's going on or any of these fake storylines and plays. But it's good because y'all already know how I am. I appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every one of you that give me a click and a view, who subscribe to my channel, who tune in, people who hit the replay and red ball and all that. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. So on that note, like I said, I'm going to try to keep on coming here regularly, even if it ain't a lot of shit going on in the sector. We just going to talk about other shit, okay? All right. And on that note, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. That sounds pretty good for a girl that's stuffed up. I can't even breathe through my nose. Let me try it again. And always remember to keep it hood. Y'all know I'm so silly. Anyway, I'm out, y'all. Love you guys. Bye.